Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Tuesday, June 29, 2021. I'm Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Isaiah Henry's brother, 3 others remanded for murder of HARESH Singh. Lowenfield, Mingo, and Myers facing more electoral fraud charges. Guyana's Foreign Affairs Minister to meet with TNT counterpart. 8 orphanages adopted through First Lady's Office Private Sector Partnership. And kicked down to 12 working the streets and now a multi-talented woman, the story of JASMIN RATTAN. Now for the news in detail. 4 persons who were arrested by ranks from the Guyana Police Force's Major Crimes Unit were charged today with the murder of 17-year-old HARESH Singh, which occurred on September 9, 2020 at No. 3 Village, West Coast, Berbice. Lowanda McAllister has our lead story tonight.
Those charged are 29-year-old Philip Anderson, called RATTAN, of No. 3 Village, 27-year-old Joel Gittins, called Bolo, of Django Town, East Coast Demerara, 27-year-old Gladstone Henry, called Gladwin Henry, aka Soldier Man, of No. 3 Village, and 21-year-old Charles Scott, called Bucko, of Rosignol, Berbice. Gladstone Henry is the brother of Isaiah Henry, one of the 2 boys whose badly mutilated bodies were found back Cotton Tree 3 days before the murder of HARESH Singh. The body of the 17-year-old Singh was found in the No. 3 Back Dam, West Coast, Berbice on September 9, 2020. It was widely suspected that Singh's murder was in retaliation of the murders of 16-year-old Isaiah Henry and 19-year-old Joel Henry. After a thorough and lengthy investigation, 3 persons were arraigned for the murders of the Henry cousins. After solving that murder case, police then turned their focus to Singh's murder. Police recently made the breakthrough in the case, with at least one of the suspects allegedly confessing to the brutal murder of the young man. During interrogation, Anderson reportedly confessed that he was part of the initial plot to murder Singh as revenge for Isaiah's murder. In his confession, he reportedly told detectives that after the bodies of the Henry boys were found, one of Henry's relatives, who is now in police custody, went to his home and told him that Singh's relatives were the ones responsible for his brother's death and that they got to die as a form of revenge. But even though police have made a breakthrough with the case, family members of Singh explained that they are still living in fear.
Well, we are glad to know that is who did it, and we would be more satisfied that, okay, they confess and they say what they did to him.
But they have said so.
Yeah, as what we're hearing and seeing.
Well, if they think you get the right person, you put them, then supposed to pay the penalty. Understand? So why he go to HARESH Singh, he go to the 2 by them.
What they're supposed to do.
It's matter who Indian or Negro, all is one.
Yeah.
You're supposed to kill them. Then go back then do something, carry the station and lock them up.
Meanwhile, father of the late Isaiah Henry, Gladstone Henry, says police need to do more than just provide a confession.
We need more than confession, because we know that confession is the weakest link. So we are pressing to get evidence. We need it. We say that we need. That is a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago we go and we said that we need evidence. We need concrete evidence that the right killer should go before the court and charge to go to jail.
Meanwhile, the accused have been remanded to prison. The case has been postponed to July 12th. Reporting for the Evening News, I am Lowanda McAllister.
Embattled Chief Elections Officer of the Guyana Elections Commission, Keith Lowenfield, his deputy Roxanne Myers, and Region 4 returning officer, Claremont Mingo, were today slapped with more charges in relation to their alleged attempts to rig the March 2, 2020 general and regional elections. Here's Lowanda McAllister again with the details.
Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, his deputy Roxanne Myers, and Region 4 Returning Officer Claremont Mingo were today released on $100,000 bail on 2 new charges of conspiracy to defraud in relation to last year's elections. The trio appeared before Magistrate Sherdal Isaac Marcus at the Georgetown Magistrates Court and were not required to plead to the joint charges. The charges alleged that between March 2nd and August 2nd, 2020 at Georgetown, they conspired with each other and Valda Lawrence, Carol Smith Joseph, and others to defraud the electorals of Guyana by declaring a false account of votes for the March 2nd, 2020 general and regional elections. The case has been adjourned to July 14th. Lowenfield is currently before the court with 3 counts of misconduct in public office and 3 counts of forgery, while Myers with 2 counts of misconduct in public office. Mingo is currently charged with 4 counts of misconduct in public office, while People's National Congress Chairman Valda Lawrence and opposition activist Carol Joseph are also before the court on electoral fraud charges. In light of these charges, government-nominated commissioners at GCOM had tabled 3 motions calling for the dismissal of the trio. While no decision has been made on the motions, GCOM last week anonymously decided to send on leave Lowenfield, Myers, and Mingo. GCOM Chair Justice Claudette Singh is expected to make a decision on the way forward regarding the motions. Reporting for the Evening News, LaWanda McAllister.
Guyana's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Hugh Todd, is scheduled to have a virtual meeting with his Trinidadian counterpart, Amory Brown, following informal discussions the two have had. Javed Savory has the details.
Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd had previously held informal discussions with his Trinidadian counterpart, Senator Dr. Amory Brown. During the discussion, both ministers had spoken of the valuable bilateral relationship and long-standing strong ties. They will be taking this a step further on Wednesday when they meet formally via video conference. It was agreed that the two would discuss matters of mutual interest during the meeting. The meeting comes on the heels of recent events whereby Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago were at odds on issues of COVID vaccines and flood relief. Trinidad's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley had made remarks about Guyana's vaccination campaign, which did not go down well in sections of society. There was also an issue regarding a media report coming out of Trinidad, which stated that Guyana rejected the country's aid to flood relief efforts here. Efforts to contact Minister Todd on what prompted the meeting proved futile, but it is highly expected that the foreign ministers will discuss these matters with the aim of strengthening relations between the two countries. Guyana shares many cultural similarities with Trinidad and Tobago, and diplomatic ties were established between the two countries since 1966. Japheth Savory, The Evening News.
Canadian company Oh My Gold Mines, which recently made a deal with fellow Canadian company Silver Corp to sell 15.2% of its shares, has officially concluded the transaction. Gerald Bryan tells us more.
According to Oh My Gold Mines, the company has closed its deal with Silvercorp Metals, which made the lead offer. This means that Silvercorp will now own 4.4 million shares, as well as options to purchase additional shares over a 36-month period. The deal grants Silvercorp a 15.2% stake in Oh My Gold Mines, which has its operations in Region 7. The money generated by the deal will be used by Oh My for its expanded exploration activities. However, the shares issued will be subject to a 4-month, 1-day hold based on Canadian laws. Oh My Gold Mines has already started a 5,000-meter drilling program in the Waynot Pit in Region 7. In April, it had announced the presence of high-grade gold in the first 2 holes that extend at least 100 meters below. Oh My was once Guyana's top gold producer, and the company has said it is aiming to reclaim that standing. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Coming up, COVID-19 vaccine campaign moves house to house in some regions and aids orphanages adopted through First Lady's office private sector partnership. Do stay with us.
Your child needs nutrients every day. And Enfagrow contains recommended levels of DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has nutrients which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow.
Your #1 supermarket cost cutter has everything you need. Come down to our Sheriff Street or our Track A Farm East Bank Demerara location and shop in comfort, knowing that you're also getting the most competitive prices. We currently have specials on onions, £5 for $500 or £50 bag for $3,500. Purple onions, £25 bag for $22.50. Happy macaroni 400-gram packet, 1 for $200 and 3 for $500. Just Juice 500 milliliter, 1 for $135 and get 4 for $500. Miran soybean oil 500 milliliter bottle, 1 for $275, 4 for $1,000. Aqua Pure water 24 330 milliliter bottles, $1,100 per case. Buy 10 cases and get 1 case free, and much more. Give us a call on 231-7180 or 502-5660. You can also WhatsApp our farm branch on 686-6501 and our Sheriff Street branch on 686-7536.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, Step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1150.
Are you looking for men's suits for that wedding, prom, or special party? Or maybe you need to update your wardrobe with a modern fit or a new color for work? Search no more, because John Lewis Styles is the perfect men's suit store. Come see us on Waterloo Street, and our friendly staff will help you choose the perfect size, color, and fit. Complement that suit with a stunning shirt and tie, matching bow tie and suspenders, cufflinks, or even a pair of shiny dress shoes. You will love the way you look. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
My one and only, tastes so good to me. Yes, we love cheesies. Cheesies, cheesies, give me please. Nobody does it like these. Cheesies, cheesies, give me some. Cheesies taste is #1. Only Sunshine's got it. Got the cheese you love, with a taste that's so real. We love cheesies. Sunshine Snacks Cheesies, just so good.
Enroll at the Elite Art Williams and Harry Wendt Aeronautical Engineering School and graduate with an associate degree in aircraft maintenance engineering. You're also accredited by the National Accreditation Council of Guyana. Visit our virtual open day on July 9th, 2021 from 10 hours at the Eugene F. Correa Airport, East Coast Demerara, or call us on 222-2155 or 222-1210. Visit our website at www.aesguyana.net or social media for more information and Zoom meeting ID and passcode. The Art Williams and Harry Wendt Aeronautical Engineering School, investing in your future since
Massey is by your side as we continue the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. In collaboration with OneCart, you can now get your groceries delivered, or you can pick up curbside. Call, email, or WhatsApp your order to us. This service is available at both Providence and Turkine locations. Delivery and pickup between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The fee is based on location. Orders must be paid in cash and placed 24 hours in advance. Special conditions apply. Remember to always protect yourself and those around you by wearing your masks. Also, don't forget to wash your hands and maintain a distance of 6 feet at all times around persons. Massey Stores. Our family serving.
Your child needs nutrients every day. And Enfagrow contains recommended levels of DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfogrow has nutrients which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfogrow.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The country's COVID-19 death toll climbed to 468 today, following the deaths of a 38-year-old man and a 39-year-old woman, both of whom resided in Region 4. The country has also recorded 68 new cases of the novel coronavirus, taking the total positives recorded to date to 19,959. A total of 13 persons are receiving care in the ICU, 91 are in institutional isolation, 1,508 in home isolation, and 9 in institutional quarantine. The total recoveries stand at 17,879. In several regions, the Health Ministry has moved to a house-to-house approach for its COVID-19 vaccination campaign aimed at targeting vaccine hesitancy and increasing the current figures. Details in this Rupasinaran report.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony shared during the coronavirus briefing on Tuesday that the house-to-house approach, which was first rolled out in Region 10, has been undertaken by health workers in other regions. Along with fixed sites, the additional initiative is expected to engage people who may have doubts about the vaccine.
We have started to do some house-to-house, going to the various communities, walking from house to house, talking to people and encouraging them to get vaccines. We have also, on those outreaches, have vaccination teams that would be mobile so that as they go through the house-to-house exercise, if there are people who would like to get their vaccines, that they would be able to get it right there.
In Guyana, 232,599 persons have taken the first dose of the vaccine, which translates to approximately 47.8% of the adult population. Second doses have reached 107,421, or 22.1%. The Health Ministry has also created partnerships with private sector entities in order to boost its vaccination numbers.
We have been working with a number of workplaces and trying to get those work sites to organize vaccination campaign, and we go to those sites and offer vaccination. So this has also been working, and we are working also to put together a set of initiatives where people would be rewarded if they get their vaccines, and this we are working with the private sector to see how we can get these initiatives rolled out. So I think by and large we are working now to counter the negativity that was caused by the opposition and to still encourage people to dispel whatever myths they have and to encourage them to come out and get vaccines. Guyana would not be safe until we have a lot of people getting these vaccines.
Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Darmalal on Monday distributed $37.5 million in subvention to 15 Region 4 neighborhood democratic councils to advance services within the various districts. Find out more in this Luana McAllister report.
Region 4 has 17 neighborhood democratic councils, and 15 of them have now received subventions to the tune of $37.5 million from the Ministry of Local Government. The simple presentation ceremony was held at the office of the minister at Kingston, Georgetown. During his address to the recipients, Minister Darmalal urged residents in various communities to be informed and involved in government's intervention within their areas.
Members of the public, especially those within the NDC areas, are made aware of the interventions of the government so that they can help us to get the resources that we put into these villages spent wisely, and so that we uphold the values that we pursue as part of our good governance. We expect that the NDCs are going to work with these communities so that the priority areas are being addressed,
He assured that the ministry is making steady progress in all of the NDC areas.
Balance of the subvention will also be provided when they're finished spending this 50%. The balance would be provided to the NDCs, and we expect that they are going to use the balance as well to complete works that have not yet been fully completed, but also to ensure that they do things that are more meaningful to persons on the ground.
Minister Dharamlal explained that the onus is now on the NDCs to honor their obligations and partner with communities to address issues, especially those that are priority. Some of the NDCs which received checks on Monday are Industry Plaisance, Better Hope, Golden Grove, Cane Grove, and Buxton. For the evening news, Lawanda McAllister.
8 orphanages in Guyana are the first to benefit from the Adopt an Orphanage initiative, a flagship program under the Office of the First Lady, where private sector entities have come on board to offset financial obligations at these homes. Rupa Sinarayan has this story.
A memorandum of understanding was signed between the 7 businesses and 2 individuals on Tuesday at State House, assuming the responsibility of financial aid to 8 orphanages. The program is being executed by the Office of the First Lady, Arya Ali. Those to benefit over the next couple of months include Joshua House, Bless the Children Home, REMANDED Children's Home, St. John Bosco Children's Home, Canaan Children's Home, Shahid's Boys and Girls Orphanage, St. Anne's Orphanage, and Prabhu Sharon Orphanage. First Lady Arya Ali underscored that this initiative came about during an interaction with Guyanese-born singer and songwriter St. John last year. She noted that intervention was needed, having found that many homes are underfunded and there are necessities beyond meals and utilities.
I digress to say that how these orphanages are able to remain functional when they are sometimes grossly underfunded remains a mystery to many of us, and I applaud their management teams for an exceptional work that they continue to do in the face of monumental challenges. So after putting some thought into it, I proposed a sustainable solution which should guarantee continuous support for these institutions. I discussed with my team the idea of using my office to create a link between these orphanages and corporate Guyana, what we now dub the Adopt an Orphanage initiative. Businesses would play a meaningful role in supporting these orphanages and helping them to alleviate some of the financial burdens which pose challenges in the provision of quality services, while those same businesses would be able to fulfill their corporate social responsibility.
Meanwhile, Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Vindhya Prasad outlined that these children must have more than just basic necessities.
And as homes go, whether they are under the state or they are private homes, the needs are always manifold. And those needs include utilities, they include the nitty-gritty of basic life. But we want children to have much more than the necessities. And this is where this initiative will allow those who will benefit today to utilize the funds that they would have had to divide between the necessities and what the children can benefit from in addition. So I think it is an initiative that must be sustained, and I would like to compliment St. John for bringing his passion to this initiative, and also everyone who found the space in their heart to contribute, to support, and to reach out to something that you may not realize how much it means to the child who will benefit.
The Adopt an Orphanage program will continue over the next 4 years, targeting other institutions. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
June is designated as Pride Month to bring awareness to the issues faced by the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community, and also celebrate those who paved the way for better acceptance of LGBTQ+ persons. In honor of this month, the Evening News' Lakram Bagirat and cameraman Paul Van Velde recently sat down with trans woman JASMIN (RATTAN), who shared her story.
Yani Jasmine Rattan. I am 20 years old. Well, for me, I grew up in a village across the West Coast in Region 3 called Zilat. And my childhood days wasn't as happy and lustful as other people's childhood before. It was much more like shame, face slapping, insults, abuse, and etc. Well, while others on the outside and in society insult, abused, and violated me, the most hurtful insults came from my family and abuse came from my family within my home. No, my parents were separated when we were young, when my brother and I was young, and we were living with my grandparents and my aunts and uncles. I knew from the age of 11 I was trans. I was a girl. I felt like a girl trapped in my body, but the family that I come from, they aren't very acceptable of that. While I was different, instead when it was Christmas time, my brother wanted remote control cars, drones, helicopters, stuff like that. I wanted a pair of gungaroos. I love dancing and I wanted a guitar. I'm also a singer and a dancer. And they refused to buy me the gungaroo, and I actually fought and got the guitar. But then it happened so that my brother broke the guitar because I was singing one of Katy Perry's songs, and instead of I Kissed the Girl, I sang I Kissed the Boy. I know it's funny, but I used to be this girly person in the home. I try to hide my personality from everybody, be like this dude and talk like in this, try to deepen my voice, but it wasn't that. It wasn't easy. I just had to let it out at some point. I went to school today and I wasn't kicked out of home yet, and she found my diary. I didn't make up my bed that morning, and she found my diary under the pillow. That was my only best friend. I didn't have any friends in school or whatever because of my personality and this girly, gilly way. Everybody pushed me aside, shunned me. They would pelt me with cheap chewing gum in my hair. I even got lashes for being like that in school from my headmaster. I was put to stand in the sun because I wore a sari and danced tassa in school. It was for fun. I didn't actually think they would have taken it, just like how they have these Christmas parade, Honey Goopy and Masquerade. I thought it would be funny, but instead of laughing at it or making it funny, they just put me to stand in the sun the entire day from morning till 4 in the afternoon, and I got blacked out. They leave me there until I catch myself all by myself. And when I came home, she asked me, my name was before Brandon. Before I did my name change, I was known as Brandon. She asked me, Brandon, you gay? I was like, no, where you get it from? Then she pulled out the diary. I had a little pink Hannah Montana diary. And she pulled out the diary and she said, don't lie. And I mentioned the boy name in the diary, and she took it upon herself to confront him, and like every other dude who doesn't want to feel insulted or ashamed of being in a relationship with a trans person or a gay person, he denied me. And I was in so much trouble, and that was when she put me out. One day when I came clean at the age of 11, I came out as a gay person first because I wasn't transitioning as yet. Instead of accepting me and accepting me for who I am, they instead kicked me out of the house, and that is where my life begins as a trans woman at the age of 12, from 11 to 12. I was staying with another trans woman. It happened so that I met her in a bus today, and she asked me why I was crying. I was crying in a bus the same time I had my bundle with me, a garbage bag of clothes, and I didn't know where to go. I was going to kill myself. That was the only option that I had, to jump over at the seawall. And then I met her and she took me home by her. And at that moment, I was attending a private school on the West Coast. My grandparents were paying for it. After I couldn't afford to pay my school fees and stuff, I dropped out to a government institute. They were doing night school, so I was attending night school. When I came in town, I was posted at Festival City.
What did you do there?
I was pursuing my CXCs. I only wrote maths and English because that was the only two subjects that they actually helped me with. Then I got an opportunity to go Critchlow Labor College to study a trade, and it happened so that I didn't go. I got a grade 2 in maths and grade 3 in English. And at first I didn't want to, but it's like I didn't have a choice, because the only thing tangible and that will be meaningful to my life is to get my education and show my family that even though being trans or gay or whatever, I could still be somebody in life. It doesn't matter what you do or how you are. I started by borrowing old wigs from other trans women or collecting old clothes from other trans women since I couldn't afford to buy new one. I was that girl with one pair of slippers on the road up and down from Sheriff Street to Cathedral. Well, at that time I was the youngest on the street, so I had to give a fake name. That is how Delilah was born. They called me Delilah because my looks are very deceiving, and I had to fake my age as well. Some people, they would literally pick you up and just use you and then give you nothing, kick you out of the car, or they might run you up the road or whatever. It was very hard, horrible, and it's not a good thing for any young trans or person from the LGBTQ community would go through. And that is the main battleground that we're facing here in Guyana today. Well, at one time, I was thinking about giving up. I attempted suicide by drinking poison. I was hospitalized, but when I was hospitalized and while I was in the hospital, they keep putting Intercrats in me to flush the poison out and whatever. I was refusing it. I was pulling the lines out, taking the oxygen and stuff off. But then it happened so a little boy was right next to me on the other bed, and he had some sort of sickness. I'm not sure, but on looking at that little child, it spoke to me. While I was trying to give up my life for no reason, when there are opportunities for me, I was trying to kill myself, and other persons out there, for instance, like that little boy, was fighting for his life. And then I realized life is precious, no matter how you are or what situation you might be. One night, it changed my life. Actually, a guy, he is a foreign national. He was a police officer as well. He stopped and he picked me up, and he gave me in my hands $45,000, which I used to only get like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. The most I would get is 10 for the night. And he gave me $45,000 and tell me he would rent somewhere for me, and he would have me to stay there because he have children also, and he have a gay son. He never disclosed to me who was his gay son or whatever, but so he said, so did he do it. And then I still, after getting accustomed and going on the street and working for myself, I still went back on the street, and a night it happened so that a man beat up one of the, a gang actually, beat up one of the trans women. Her name is Pretty, and I saw that. And then I thought to myself, I was crying, I would feel sorry for her, but then I realized, and I asked myself, is this what I want for the rest of my life? Being on the street, people molesting me, switching from one man to the next every night. I don't know what sick they have or whatever. I don't know if I'm gonna get sick. And I started thinking, and I came to SASAD. I heard about SASAD, I was invited here, and I came, and they welcomed me with open arms. They didn't treat me different, and they taught me how to love myself and love me for who I am and accept myself as I am. And since then, SASAD is my family. I do makeup, I sing, I dance. I also do part-time work at SASAD. I'm also a model. Actually, the only persons in my family that accept me is my grandma. Her name is Mina Bibi Safran. She's Muslim, and she is a Guyanese-based American. My aunt, Auntie Sharon, she's a nurse in America, and my cousin, Marissa Tamasar and my aunt, Esther Tamasar. They're the only person that actually helped me. They actually helped me a lot because sometimes I would just make up, I'll be so ashamed that I don't have money to buy food. Even though I'm working, I don't have money to buy food, don't have money for transportation or whatever. I will go to my grandma, make up some excuse, and she knows what I'm going through, but she wouldn't tell me anything or whatever, and she would give me food or whatever what I needed. She even gave me clothes, and she actually encouraged me to be myself. Life is like a product, buy and sell. If you're no good, they will just kick you aside. But don't let people discourage you or insult you of being who you are, or insult you or discourage you from pursuing your dreams. Oprah Winfrey said the greatest adventure you can take is to live your life's dream, and I'm living mine now. Thanks.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is expected to be closed on Wednesday, June 30th at 9 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed on Wednesday, June 30th at 8 hours 25 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Now let's take a look at the local stock exchange market compliments of GASI. GOA fights in Ali Cox's corner with monetary support, and West Indies women's senior and A team to lock horns tomorrow. Details of these stories in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Your child needs nutrients every day. And Enfagro contains recommended levels of DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagro has nutrients which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagro.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality, or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rijnveld.
Enroll at the Elite Art Williams and Harry Wendt Aeronautical Engineering School and graduate with an associate degree in aircraft maintenance engineering. You're also accredited by the National Accreditation Council of Guyana. Visit our virtual open day on July 9th, 2021 from 10 hours at the Eugene F. Correa Airport, East Coast, Demerara, or call us on 222-2155 or 222-1210. Visit our website at www.aesguyana.net or social media for more information and Zoom meeting ID and passcode. The Art Williams and Harry Wendt Aeronautical Engineering School, investing in your future since 1993.
Get the right seal right now from Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., your immediate SKF sealing solutions. The SKF Seal Jet Machine is capable of building seals from 5mm to 600mm in diameter in under 5 minutes. With technical support readily available, you can get a customized seal to suit virtually any industrial application, like buffer, rod, wiper, and piston seals. SKF Seal Jet Machine, now at Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc.
Wayne Pressure Pumps out of the U.S. is the ideal solution for your water woes. At Sylvie's Variety Store, we bring you the top line of automatic pressure tank pumps ideal for building offices and residential homes. Just turn on the faucet and pressure at your fingertips. The Wayne collection includes pool pumps, well pumps, and utility submersible pumps. Parts and accessories available. Sylvie's Variety Store, bringing you the quality you deserve every time.
Your child needs nutrients every day. And Enfagrow contains recommended levels of DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has nutrients which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow.
Broaden your horizons when thinking about investing long-term. Buying shares in one of the companies traded on the Guyana Stock Exchange allows you to participate in the success of that company. Unlike interest from banks, dividends from shares are tax-free, and profit from any increase in share price does not incur capital gains tax. You can buy shares through a stockbroker. Visit www.gasci.com for details. Shares are freely transferable and can be sold for cash when needed. Invest through the stock exchange. One market, greater returns.
Welcome back to this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.